Well, it appears more El Pasoans are taking the law into their own hands until police can arrive. But are they putting themselves in legal trouble? I explain in today's In Depth with Selena. Check it out.
Sometimes it's up to the community to police their own community. You don't want you don't want to depend on the cops.
Video shared on the Instagram page FitFam El Paso over the Thanksgiving holiday shows the moments neighbors took it upon themselves to detain a man in Northeast El Paso. Neighbors say they tackled that man after he allegedly broke into several homes, including a child's bedroom.
It's concerning that it has to be the people in their neighborhoods who step up for crimes like this. Cops should be nearby.
That situation, among others, now sparking a bigger conversation. What's really at stake when people take the law into their own hands? We went to local defense attorney Brock Benjamin for answers.
The police, their job is always going to be say, don't do this. And because there's a public policy reason, right? We don't want people just running around deciding what is right and what is wrong. But on the same token, the Texas law specifically provides for the ability for a citizen to make an arrest for an offense committed within his view.
That law is Texas Code of Criminal Procedure Article 14.01, signifying that a citizen's arrest is legal. But there are limitations to how and when this can be done. The person making the arrest must use reasonable force, and they are required to turn the suspect over to law enforcement authorities as soon as possible.
The question is whether you did it too, shall we say, forcefully. If you tie them down and break their arm as opposed to detain them, that's not going to be considered reasonable. Reasonableness is usually determined after the fact.
Benjamin noting that there are risks and potential legal consequences if the arrest is not carried out properly.
You are running the risk that later on in hindsight, somebody's going to determine your actions are not reasonable. And that comes with consequences, either physical or legal.
His advice?
Well, I mean, let's say you pull up and somebody's breaking into your house. Most people's reaction is going to get out of the car and run towards them and kick them out of your house. I'd suggest probably a better course of action, back up, pull across the street, call the police, and, turn on a cell phone. I mean, don't get yourself involved in something where you could get hurt. That's a very easy, very safe answer.
El Paso Police Detective Judy Oviedo acknowledges the community's desire to get criminals off the streets. However, she stresses that it's better to just leave the arrests to them.
You have to be aware of civil liability and maybe criminal liability as well. So we always recommend that if at any means possible, if you can have the police department handle it, we recommend that. But if somebody is detained because you're fearing that they're going to harm somebody or, make a situation worse, and you go ahead and take action, that has to be something that is within reason.
So Detective Judy Oviedo goes on to say, if you see a crime in action and choose not to intervene, the best thing you can possibly do is call 911 and give a description, which will be beneficial to locate the individual or individuals committing that crime.